This video is about Bridgerton, which is available on Netflix. I will primarily be talking about the first 2 episodes of Season 1, but will mention the events of later episodes within this review. So here is a spoiler alert. Bridgerton follows the titular family along with the Featherington family during the 1813 social season. Young ladies and their mothers vie to obtain a great marriage match. The season begins with the young ladies being presented to Queen Charlotte. Daphne Bridgerton, the family's eldest daughter, is esteemed by the Queen as the season's most promising debutante. A new gossip and scandal sheet is written and distributed by Lady Whistledown, a mysterious figure. It interests most people, but they brush it off. Miss Marina Thompson comes to stay with the Featherington family for the season, and Simon Bassett, the new Duke of Hastings, arrives in London to settle his late father's affairs. Daphne's interested suitors are soon scared off by her brother Anthony, the current Viscount Bridgerton, and head of the family. Simon is discomfited by the attention of all the ladies and their mothers, who are trying to marry him off. Marina soon becomes the new diamond of the season, gaining lots of attention. Lady Featherington is irritated by this, as her daughters have been sidelined, and soon finds that Marina is pregnant. Out of wedlock? What scandal! Daphne and the Duke decide to pretend that they are courting in order to fill the others' needs. Simon will get respite from the attentions of the young ladies, while Daphne will get the attention of other suitors again, since she will appear very desirable on the arm of a duke. Soon, everyone becomes enraptured by Lady Whistledown's writings, and how similar they are to the events that the Tom are attending. Eloise finds Whistledown inspiring and tries to figure out who she may be. Daphne and the Duke soon realise that they are in love, and after a series of events, they end up marrying. The rest of the series follows the ups and downs of their married life, among other things, such as Eloise's investigation into Whistledown and Marina's attempts to match herself to a desirable partner while hiding her pregnancy. Yes, watch it. I do love my period dramas, so I may be a little biased. The show is quite trope-heavy, with a lot of things that you would expect to happen obviously occurring. But overall, it is a very enjoyable show. The costumes are delightful, especially the gowns of Lady Danbury and Queen Charlotte, though especially for the Queen, she's a little out of date fashion-wise. Though I have to say the corset tight-lacing scene is so dumb. You see the silhouette of the dresses that the ladies wear, and what was the point? You can't see their waist. Literally, she could have fainted out of nerves or something. Anyone would be nervous being presented to a royal. A lot of Regency dramas tend to be inspired by or are adaptations of Austen novels, and while great, they tend to focus on the story of how the characters got together, ending in marriage. This made Bridgerton feel very refreshing to me, since it included life after marriage. The show also does become a little heavy in sex, which is often missing or just alluded to when a character is with child. This could put off some viewers, but again, I found it refreshing. It's an adaptation of a book that I haven't read, but after some research I found that they made some changes, yet kept in the controversial element of the Duke and I, which I will soon cover in more detail, which does fall into very big spoiler territory. Bridgerton actually made me understand the concept of Gretna Green. It was mentioned in Pride and Prejudice when I was watching that, but I didn't actually understand the true implications of what going to Gretna Green meant. It pretty much means that they're going up to Scotland to get married without a licence. So now I finally understand what the hell Lydia was doing with Wickham. In a sense, some people would call this show a historical drama, but at its core, it's a historically inspired fantasy. I think this could make some of those who are stricter on historical accuracy let some things go. It's, in a sense, a Jane Austen-styled fanfic, and I'm all up for it, god damn it!
It's a good show. For us, the concept of fake dating isn't often seen in Regency dramas, and I feel it worked well in this show. It's nice to see the social season in more depth, since in most dramas that I have seen, people just visit each other's houses and plan their own events without mention of the season, since the important characters are already out in society. The most I've ever seen the season alluded to is whenever an Austen drama sends everyone to Bath. It's nice to see a Regency London for once. I think they made some bold choices for the characters, like having the Queen be a person of colour. She's a great character and the actress is beautiful, nailing that royal elegance.
I love that face she always makes. You know, the one with just the raised eyebrow and the
Yes.
kind of look on her face. The in-universe explanation for the POC characters being noble is a little weak, like, yay, we solved racism hundreds of years ago because of love. But I like seeing dramas where it's not just a sea of white faces, because let's face it, history wasn't just white. And yeah. The choice of casting for the Queen also buys into historical rumours about Queen Charlotte having a black heritage. But as I said, the show is a historical fantasy, so we can enjoy it without having to worry about all the implications and such of slavery. This is the point where the spoiler warning is huge. We're now going to be discussing the characters, which means we'll be going even more in depth with what happens to them and how we felt while watching it. At the start of the series, as soon as they agreed to pretend to be courting, like many a fanfiction, I knew they would end up together, and I was rooting for them. Their attraction for one another was so much that Daphne was swayed away from a better and flattering match with Prince Friedrich. My feelings towards this couple, who I was so happy to see together, soon changed not long after their marriage. I'm giving it a trigger and spoiler warning now, and you can skip ahead to the timestamp here if you would like to skip over this. Simon lied about his ability to not have children, with it being a vendetta against his father who mistreated him, only caring about the greatness of the Hastings line and its future. He used Daphne's sexual innocence against her to keep up with the lie. As soon as Daphne realises this, she acts in a most disgusting manner and forces her desire on Simon. This is the point where I wasn't sure how I felt about these characters anymore. While the scene is sanitised compared to the book version, it still had me disliking Daphne. I wanted the couple to come to a resolution over Simon's choices and lies, but I felt that it occurring in this manner and eventually working out in Daphne's favour, it's just wrong, considering Simon had almost been the one who saved her from a to-be rapist. I think most viewers in the end would feel that Daphne's actions give the marital bliss a sour feeling, especially since Daphne never apologises for her actions and constantly throws the blame back at him. It should have been a discussion between them where the truth gets out, and then Daphne could help Simon through it, instead of sneaking around to learn about why he made that decision. Oh, Anthony. As the eldest Bridgerton boy, he is the one we get to know the most. Very soon I found myself both loving and hating the guy. I loved that he was protective of Daphne, swaying off her matches with men who had debts and other issues which would make the physically desirable men undesirable. I soon lost this love when Anthony purposely pushed out and dissuaded all of her suitors, bar one. It was only at his mother's insistence and proclamation that their father would have had Daphne set up for marriage already that changed his mind. However, Anthony made the wrong decision and set Daphne up with Lord Berbrook, a man that makes Mr. Collins look sexy.
But your modesty adds to your other perfections.
He thought Berbrook a good match as he had none of the issues that had him dislike the others, and pushed Daphne towards it when she made it clear that she did not want him and that he was making her uncomfortable. The creepy Berbrook attempts to ruin Daphne, and she defends herself and agrees to fake court Simon to help save herself from him. Anthony always disapproved of the couple and only broke off the agreement with Berbrook when Simon informed him that the reason behind Berbrook's black eye was Daphne punching him. Anthony has a side love story with the singer Sienna, but is unable to marry her due to their different classes, so constantly flip-flops with her. I didn't think much of this relationship and found Anthony increasingly annoying. He's meant to be the head of the household, but tends to still act as the elder brother. He's the standout brother of the Bridgertons, to be certain, but only because he causes issues and that the others are simply not given sufficient screen time, storylines, or development. Marina can be considered the secondary protagonist in this season of Bridgerton. She's a distant cousin of Lord Featherington, whose wife hopes that Marina is ugly to not ruin the chances of her daughters. She is, however, gorgeous, and becomes the new jewel of the ton upon her first appearance, especially because of a certain lady's brother getting in the way of suitors. Once her pregnancy is discovered, she is confined to her room. There she becomes friends with Penelope Featherington, who she confides in. Penn becomes enamoured with the story of love between Marina and Sir George Crane, the father of her child stuck fighting in Spain. Soon, Lady Featherington tries to marry Marina off to anyone willing in order to hide the shame that her condition would bring their family. I felt Marina to be a sympathetic character and wanted things to end well for her. At times she was manipulative, but I had far less issues with Marina as a character than I had with Daphne. After watching the series as a whole, I cannot say whether Marina will be happy or not after all that happened. The driver of a lot of the plot. Whistledown's papers were initially disregarded by the Ton, but eventually took them all by storm. The ladies wanted to manipulate Whistledown's words to their benefit, and they kept the characters and viewers informed on how the society viewed certain members. Her writings were clearly influential, as it was through her paper that a rumour about Berbrook was shared widely, ending his attempts to obtain Daphne's hand. The issue of her identity is a key plot point in the show, and though the viewer learns who she is, the characters are still unaware. Best girl and at least problematic. She's like the modern girl in the period, which may put off some viewers because of how woke and feminist she is. Eloise hates that her only duty in life is to get married and have children, and wants to be free and independent. She smokes cigarettes secretly in the garden at night and dislikes the fuss and events of a season. Whistledown's papers inspire her, as here, in her mind, there is a woman who is free and of means through her own talents. She has a beautiful, close relationship with Penelope that she keeps regardless of what happens in the show to either family. With Penelope, she spouts off her theories on who the mysterious Whistledown is, and was entertained and enraptured by her writings from the start, despite not caring about the season, being a little bit of a writer herself. Eloise was a nice break from all of the other characters who are in the season and care about who they are going to marry. I can't wait to see more of her in future seasons. There is also a huge supporting cast of other characters, but I feel that they don't add enough to the story or made much of an impression on me to warrant a section on them here. Not to mention, some characters play bigger parts at the end of the series, and I'd like to keep some things interesting for you guys. Overall, I would recommend the show, although if you are triggered or dislike anything I mentioned within the review, I would say to avoid it. Or just watch the show up until they get married. Thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe. Love you very much if you do that. We hope you like the introduction of the mini dragon and her adorable little sleepy form. I'm out!